The NFL is definitely an offensive league currently, but I almost feel like having a very good defense is underrated at this point. Almost all of the consistently good NFL teams have at least a good defense. So today, we are going to be doing a fantasy draft where I can only pick defensive players. Not just for our defense, but our offense too. And if you thought the last one of these I did where we drafted only offense was chaotic, I mean, we're going to have a quarterback that's a defensive player. This is going to be an interesting one. And I am very excited to get into this. And I'm very interested to see what kind of players we're going to be able to draft for our offense. And if it'll be, you know, at least usable, or if it'll just be the worst thing imaginable. And like I said, I want to get into this. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like on the video. It sounds stupid, but it really does help out the channel. And if you are seeing this, it means we hit the like goal on where I said we would do this. Is that a sentence? I don't know. But be sure to leave a like. Let's see if we can get to, I mean, we've been doing really well with the like goals lately, like all of them. So let's see if we can get to 1,200 likes. And if we can hit that, I am slightly reluctant to do this, but I have an even more extreme version of this planned. So, you know, leaving a like will help me know that you want to see that. So again, 1,200 likes and you will possibly torture me. I don't know. And as of the time of recording this, we are less than 1,000 subscribers away from 25K. And as y'all know, once we hit that, I have something very, very special planned. So subscribe if you like Madden rebuilds, because that's literally all I do. If there's something that you would ever want to see for a rebuild, just let me know, and I check every comment. If I like it, I will absolutely do it. And I'll give you a shout out if you care about that. But without further ado, let's get into this fantasy draft. And where are we picking? Oh God. Okay, if this was a regular fantasy draft, I would be a little more disappointed, but we are picking at 30. That's kind of tough either way. And how we are going to do this is I'm going to entirely fill out our defensive depth chart. Like, I'll go even backups there. I'll only show like the first 5 actual good players that I'm gonna pick, and then, you know, once I'm done showing that and then making the rest of my picks, we will get to the offensive players, which are actually defensive players, and I'll show 5 of those and then I'll pick the rest. It's gonna be a challenge for sure, but I think it could be doable. I'm sure there's at least one decent player for each position on offense. I'm not talking good, I'm talking like 60 something overall, but we will see what we can do. But for our first pick, who do we want? So I think the clear choice here is Dexter Lawrence. I really wish we had a better pick, because there are like no great corners left. I mean, these guys are all good, but a lot of them aren't super young anymore, I guess, other than Denzel Ward. But all the elite of the elite corners are gone, so we are going to go with Dexter Lawrence for the first pick. Still only 25 and should hopefully be a good player. And just a few picks later, let's go with the corner here, and let's go with Denzel Ward. Still only 26 years old. I low-key thought he was like 25, but it's not too much of a difference. I'm not going to complain about that. We should be able to develop him, so let's take him here. And we definitely need good edge rushers. The problem is all of them are ancient or not worth taking right here. The only one that is maybe worth taking is DeMarcus Lawrence, because he is insane in this game. I've seen him get like almost 30 sacks in a season. He's never been that guy in real life. I mean, I guess nobody's been a 30 sack guy ever, but I won't complain. We will take him here. And I always have a hard time developing safeties more than like any other position. So here, let's go with Javon Holland. Been one of the best safeties in real life this year, is only 23 years old here with star dev, so we will take him. And last pick I am going to show here for the defensive players at least is going to be Tariq Woolen, only 24 years old, star dev. I've used him in a lot of rebuilds, but he's kind of a no-brainer here. I mean, not necessarily no-brainer, but we need a good number 2 corner, and all the rest of the guys here are definitely older, at least older than him, but most of them are old in general. So let's go with Tariq Woolen. And now I will obviously fill out the rest of our defense, and then we will flip over to the offensive side of the ball, but not actually, because it's still going to be defensive players. And now we are done with our defensive players, and it is time to get into the interesting part, the offensive players, and I do already see who I want to target for QB. The question is he available yet, and is he available at all? It looks like he should be. Mr. Chaz Surratt is going to be our QB, at least for year 1. He's already 26, which I didn't realize, so I don't even think we can develop him actually. But the other options I see are Patrick Peterson, which, well, A, he's probably already gone, and B, he's old. Ty Summers, Dominique Robinson, who is younger, but Chaz Surratt, or Surratt, whatever, I'll call him Surratt, is going to be our QB, at least one of them. I do some weird rebuilds. And if Dominique Robinson's still available, I mean, why not? I don't know if he will be, because he's young. They have him at a 70 in the regular Madden rosters. I have him at like a 66 or something. I feel like he's been terrible this year. There he is, Dominique Robinson. He must have played QB at one point, so he will be at least our number 2 here, but could even possibly be our starter. I guess he's only 1 year younger than Surratt, but might as well go for QB early while there are at least passable ones still available. They gave Myles Garrett 5 throw power. Is that because he hit Mason Rudolph in the head with his helmet? Surely not, right? There's got to be something else there. But for receiver, okay, he would definitely be gone in Trayvon Diggs. I'm also surprised that Tariq Woolen isn't a higher rated looking receiver, and Dan Henley. Oh no, there's Dan Henley. We could go for him if he's available. He is. Okay, so he is going to be a pick for one of our receivers. Did play receiver at, I think, Nevada, and that's where he is going to play here. Could maybe even be a tight end. We'll think about that. And another receiver selection is going to be JL Skinner. He actually looks like he might be a decent receiver or even a decent tight end. He would definitely be undersized at only 220 pounds, but like everybody's going to be undersized, so that's fine. Let's take him here. And for the last pick, they have Emmanuel Forbes at a 77. I'm just seeing these Madden ratings for the first time in a while. How do they have Emmanuel Forbes at a 77? How? But I guess we will go with Riley Moss to be our running back, at least for now. There is probably a player I can find that would be better somewhere else. That sentence didn't make sense. There's probably a better running back I can find on defense, but for now, he does look like maybe the best one, at least out of anyone that's available, so let's take him here. And now I'm gonna make all the rest of these picks, and we will see if we can come up with a decent team at the very least. But now that we are done with the draft, the team is a 64 overall. It says 63. I moved some other players around. I wasn't done yet, but it is interesting. I guess we'll go over the defense first to, you know, build a little suspense. I feel like the offense we got was definitely better than the defense, but it is still good. It's still a very good defense at an 88 overall. As you can see, the 44 overall offense is dragging that down, but, you know, we just have a lot of upside on defense here. We have a lot of young players with good dev traits. That's what most of our defense is. We somehow managed to get Jalen Carter too. I don't know why he was still available where he was, but we'll take it. I am a little worried about the future of our pass rush and everything, because like Lawrence is good, but he's old. Van Ginkel is good sometimes, but whenever I use him, he's terrible. And Grenard is very hit or miss. Cansey isn't a defensive end really for a 4-3. He's not really a great for a 4-3, but we'll make it work, I guess. But the rest of the defense looks really good and looks like it should develop, but the offense is interesting. Our best player is Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, or I guess just Trey Tomlinson. I'm just gonna change that because I don't want to say that long name, and I know if I read that, I will say his full name. There we go. But yeah, our QB is Chaz Surratt at a deadly 36 overall. Passing stats are, you know, about what you would expect for a 30-something overall, to be fair. He is a good scrambler, it looks like. You know, he has good speed, good enough running ability, it looks like. It's just, you know, I don't think he's ever going to become anything, obviously. We also have Ty Summers, and Dominique Robinson actually wasn't a good QB, like, at all. He was like a 15 overall or something. He is thankfully good enough to be our 6th receiver at a deadly 40 overall. And our 2 top receivers are Diane Henley and Darian Kendrick. I almost said Darius Kendrick. Darian Kendrick is our number 2 receiver. So, I mean, there's technically upside there. We also have Eli Ricks. I mean, Henley and Ricks are both rookies. So, you know, it's very, 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 very unlikely that they win Rookie of the Year, but there is technically a chance. Same with Tomlinson. Same with JL Skinner, who's actually a 60 overall, which isn't too bad. He was our best tight end, which I kind of expected. He is very undersized for that, but most of the players on our offense are either under or oversized. So it is what it is there. The O-line is really bad. It's an average of like a 45 or 6 overall, but I expected that, to be fair. That's not necessarily surprising. It's just an offense that's gonna need a lot of work, but, you know, best case scenario, there are some players that could develop and end up, you know, making this team by the end of the rebuild, like Skinner, Tomlinson, Henley, whoever. So I do not think this first year is gonna be good. We'll get to the midseason instead of just going straight to the end of the year, but let's get to the midseason point of year number 1, and we will see how this team can do with the worst offense of all time. Oh yeah, and I feel like I should say this. The point of this rebuild from now on is to just make as good of a team as we possibly can. We're not going to draft a bunch of defensive players and move them to offense anymore because I want to, you know, have success in this rebuild. I don't want to go like 6-11 every year, but we have an amazing starting point on defense, and this could be an insane team once we get everything else. So if you don't like that, then I guess that's fair, but I don't want to go like 5-11 or 5-12, 6-11 every year. So we are going to try to make this a disgusting roster. We'll see what we can do. All right, well, there is why I want to build a better offense. We are 0-7 at the midseason. Our defense is holding up better than I expected. I mean, technically based on like defensive talent, we should maybe better than 29th overall. But like based on defensive talent, we should probably be like the best defense in the league right now. But, you know, our defense is starting in such a terrible position every time they get on the field because our offense is just getting stopped. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that our defense isn't great. It should probably be better than it is right now. But to be fair, we're not allowing too many points. We're 10th in points per game allowed. But I don't know. We have some upgrades at least. John Radigan, my GOAT, with a couple upgrades at tackle. But yeah, clearly things aren't going super great yet. We do have some re-signings to make, and it's kind of tough because there's Jalen Carter, who we obviously want back. There's DeMarcus Lawrence, who isn't interested. That kind of sucks. What do we do here? What can we do here? Well, we will obviously re-sign Jalen Carter, 4 years, 76 mil, and he re-signs. But DeMarcus Lawrence, unless he takes this 3 years, 58 mil, we will probably just re-sign him at the end of the year. I was just about to say, I doubt he takes this, but he does. That's kind of nice, not gonna lie, because that could have been a really big problem. Trey Tomlinson, I guess we'll re-sign, 3 years, 9 mil, sure. He's like our best offensive player, which isn't saying much. He is. And then, I don't know. I don't know that I want anyone else back right here. And AJ Cole, if he wants to come back, 5 years, 19 mil, he does not re-sign. And Justin Tucker, 3 years, 18 mil, he re-signs. I didn't pick, you know, defensive players for kicker and punter just because I didn't really care to do that, to be fair. I don't think it's going to make a very big difference, though. Especially because I think we're going 0-17 this year anyways. We have a breakout DB, though. Let's see who this is. Ooh, Tariq Woolen. Okay. I don't think he'll hit that, but we might as well try. Okay, so let's simulate this game against the Buccaneers, and let's see if we can hit. I doubt we win. We probably get smoked. Just kidding. All I need to say is I doubt we win, and the game will try its hardest to prove me wrong. Our first win of the season comes when I say I don't think we're gonna win. Of course. Do we hit the breakout? No. Of course not. This game hates me. Why would we hit it? All right, let's get to the end of the season. All right, well, in year number 1, the one game I said we wouldn't win is the one game we won on the season. We went 1-16. I hate this game. This game hates me. I hate it. The feeling is mutual, I guess, so that's fair. At least we won a game, to be fair. I did see a few of our offensive stats. I saw most of our stats, and they were interesting. Chaz Surratt with 2,800 yards, touchdowns, and 25 interceptions. I don't know what I expected. This is maybe almost worse than I expected because, you know, at least he has some overall. It's not like he's a 12 overall. He apparently has QB experience at some point, maybe in high school or early college, I don't know. But apparently that doesn't translate very well, especially with not a very good team around him, obviously. Trey Tomlinson was horrific. quick. 500 yards, 2.6 yards per carry. That is one of the lowest numbers I've ever seen. That is insane. 4 touchdowns, yay. A long run of 7 yards. I feel like the long runs in this game are always way too low. Like, surely we would eventually have to break one off, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And Darian Kendrick, the one guy I didn't want to lead the team in receiving, led the team in receiving with 800 yards and 0 touchdowns. I mean, he's the one guy in our receiving core that obviously can't win Offensive Rookie of the Year because he's not a rookie, but I guess we don't really have to worry about that because Henley only 700 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, I mean, I guess maybe he could have had like 800 and something yards and 4 touchdowns if he was the number one, but I still doubt that's enough for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Skinner was fine. Ricks was fine. The blocking was... Honestly, I've had worse seasons from regular blocker, like actual NFL linemen, so this wasn't as bad as it could have been, but I'm not surprised. And Logan Wilson led the team in tackles with 140, 121 from Milano, tackles for loss, 30 from DeMarcus Lawrence, 22 from Andrew Van Ginkel, 11 from Dexter Lawrence. Oh god, that's confusing. DeMarcus Lawrence and Dexter Lawrence. I forgot about that. Sacks, 12 for DeMarcus Lawrence, 11.5 for Andrew Van Ginkel, so he was very good this year. 8 for Dexter Lawrence, and interceptions, 2 for Milano, Wilson, and Woolen, and then 1 for a couple players. But let's see who won MVP here. I have no idea. It goes to Justin Herbert. Cool. Now on the Chargers. Bryce Young on the Chiefs. That's interesting. Aaron Donald is up there for MVP on the 49ers. That's terrifying. Seahawks got Lamar. They would try to probably make him a pocket passer or some stupid shit. The Seahawks are like the worst at knowing how to use players that they get. Whatever. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Keenan Allen. I highly doubt we see any Bills up here. Of course not. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Matt Judon. DeMarcus Lawrence at number 3. Andrew Van Ginkel at number 6. I wish we had more up there, of course, but it is what it is. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson. Dan Henley at number 9. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Devin Witherspoon. Jalen Carter at number 3. Wish we could have won that, but I didn't expect him to. So, clearly no Chaz Surratt up here for, you know, best QB. Nobody on offense at all, it looks like. We do win best D lineman for Lawrence. Blake Group or Groupie? I'm gonna say Group. I don't want his last name to be Groupie, so we'll say Group. Wins best kicker. That's cool. I think he's the Saints kicker. I don't know anything about kickers. But, you know, clearly no playoffs for us this year. So let's get into the offseason. And in the Super Bowl, real big shocker here. It's the Eagles versus the Raiders. I feel like that's one of the Super Bowls I have seen most in this game. At least 2 of the teams I see the most. At least the Eagles are valid in real life. The Raiders? I mean, I guess they have a different team here, but even when they have their regular roster, it's not good. Plus, their coach here is still probably Josh McDaniels. Gross. I don't want to look at it anymore. But now for the rest of the players we are going to have to re-sign. Leo Chenal, if he was interested, sure, but like he's just a backup here. Honestly, the same kind of goes for like most of these players. They're just not interested and backups, or they sucked, or both. AJ Cole, you sure you don't want to come back? Okay, you do. So that's all we're gonna do here, and let's get into free agency. Hopefully we can overhaul this off, because it needs it really bad. Oh yeah, I forgot free agency always sucks in fantasy drafts. That's fun. Well, we might as well sign a couple players. Kyle Allen's actually pretty decent in this game a lot of the time, but let me see what I can do. God. But these are the players we are gonna go for. Obviously nobody that good, but at least these are upgrades, even though they're tiny. We're gonna go for Andrew Ogletree, Terrace Marshall, Matt Bergeron, Deuce Vaughn, Trey Lance, Luke Whippler, and Braden Daniels. You know, I don't know who the Panthers receiver coach is. The Panthers have so many like receivers that I loved coming out of college, like Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault. I guess I can't say so many because those are like the only 2, but I don't know. Terrace Marshall has looked full in real life, to be fair, but hopefully he gets a better opportunity here. Hopefully he does better. We will see. But let's see if any of these players want to sign with us. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. Someone didn't, but we get Terrace Marshall, Trey Lance, and Luke Whippler. Who didn't? Matt Bergeron, who cares? I mean, that could be nice because he does have star dev. Oh well. We can probably draft a better guard this year. We'll see. But after trying to get these 2 players, neither of them sign even through the 3 simulations or whatever, but we get Marshall, Lance, Whippler, and Daniels at least, so that's good enough, and let's get to the draft. But here in the draft, we, of course, pick at number 1, unsurprisingly. I mean, what was the next worst team? God, I always go to the stats trying to check the schedule. I'm stupid. Wait, I don't even need to go to schedule. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I don't know. Standings. Okay, the Raiders and the Eagles had the best records. They were the Super Bowl team. The next worst teams were the Bucks and the Ravens? Did they just draft like a not mobile QB in their offense or something? I don't know. The Ravens are usually busted in this game, but to be fair, they have a really good roster in real life. But anyways, with the first overall pick, I mean, I think it's fairly obvious what we're going to do here. He's probably going to have normal dev, but the clear choice is Andrew Vance at QB. His ratings don't look insane. I mean, they do. I mean, almost everything is an A, but the things that aren't an A, like the C throw on the run, the D play action, that's not great. Everything else is very good though. Elite throw power, elite strength. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. He's not like super fast or anything, but he's not slow either. He's probably gonna have normal dev. Honestly, I just have terrible luck taking QBs early, but let's go with Andrew Vance out of Cincinnati with the first overall pick. He does have hidden dev, thankfully. 95 throw power, which honestly, that's like minimum for elite. Well, I guess it's definitely elite though. 75 speed is whatever, but good excel, good strength, we'll take it. He looks good. And we know he's a top 5 talent, so it can't be too bad, right? And with our second pick, almost a first round pick, I mean, it's the first second round pick, would it be better to go receiver or O-line? Are there any good looking receivers? I don't like to take receivers that fell. It usually means they fell for a reason. Kendrick Fitzsimmons actually looks pretty decent though. His route running just kind of sucks, which is not great. Ooh, a physical receiver with 4.43 speed, 4.38 at his pro day. Oh, Fitzsimmons has almost better speed. Wait, both of these dudes look crazy. Morrell might even be better because he has A, catch in traffic, A, spec catch, B, short route. We might go with Morrell. K-Levon? I'm not taking someone with the name K-Levon. The Jags did that and it didn't work very well. Let's try Kareem Morrell. I have no idea if he's any good, but he's interesting. So let's take him. Okay, normal dev. Fair enough. Also, only 91 speed, 87 excel for a 40-yard dash almost in the 4.3s. That's insane. I hate how that works. And unfortunately, most of the good linemen did go. Sean Teague actually looks pretty good. He could even be a tackle. I mean, he's 6'5", 13, pretty fast and agile. Dude, in real life, this would make a great tackle, probably. That could be like almost a Braden Smith type conversion or something like that. Yeah, let's take him. Ooh, actually, Chip Overton. Those ratings look pretty good. We might take him next. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know for sure if we're going to take move Teague to tackle. I mean, he looks like he would be good at tackle in real life. I don't know if that's going to translate here, but let's take him. Really? So it's going to be one of those rebuilds where we just don't get a single dev trait throughout the whole thing. I mean, we got the QB, but I think we all know that's going to be star. I am shocked by that, though. That's interesting. I don't like that, obviously. And unfortunately, all of the other linemen did go. There were a ton of right guards. They all must have just gotten taken in the 3rd round. So that's kind of tough, but there isn't really any other linemen I'm really dying for here. So with that, I will see y'all at the end of the draft, and hopefully we got some good players. But here is how we did in the draft, and this first pick is pretty nice. Andrew Vance is a 79 overall. He's probably low-key one of the highest rated QBs I've ever drafted. I mean, QBs are rarely rated very high in this game, at least for like the neutral draft classes or whatever they call them, just normal. Is that what they call them? I don't know. There were some good receivers early though. I wish we had another early pick. I mean, I don't know why we would, but Darrell Blakely, 80 overall with hidden dev. What is that dev trait is the question. Dev trait is always so much more important. It is X factor. Okay. Dev trait is always so much more important than changes. I didn't change any. Than, overall, but it's just really hard to predict dev trait, unfortunately. And then Bruce Dodson also looks insane, 79 overall, and he's still a superstar, not quite X Factor, but still looks insane. The guard I was gonna take was actually better than the guy we ended up taking. See, that's why this is another reason why I don't really like how the Madden rating system works for draft picks. Like, there were so many good ones at guard, but none of them looked good because there were so many good ones at right guard. Like, they were all just compared to each other and it made them all look worse because they were being compared to better players, but there weren't any good left guards, so even the decent left guards looked really good compared to, you know, all the other players there, because there weren't any good ones. This is why I don't like how that works. Because on paper, Teague looked better than, like, the right guards, but all of the right guards were better. I wouldn't have really known that, though, just because that's what it shows for ratings. I don't like it. But, oh well, Teague is still decent, and Morel isn't that good. He's only 73. I was thinking he would be a lot better, but only 91 speed, 87 excel, despite having a pretty damn good 40 time. I love this game, if you couldn't tell. Owen Landry isn't a very good overall, but he... Oh, just kidding. He doesn't have hidden dev. All right, that was a bad pick. Oops. And then Ben Hitchens does have hidden dev. You know, it's only a 69 overall, but he's gonna be our number 2 receiver, so it's not too bad. And then I don't know what the CPU did. I guess we needed O-line, so I can't complain too much. None of them are good, but they're better than what we had. I can almost assure they will play worse, though. But now, let's get into year number 2. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2 of the rebuild. And clearly, the offense is a lot better this year. We really, well, I guess we have a couple defensive players left, but we really overhauled this offense, especially with the QB in Andrew Vance, and hopefully he can play well. He looks 60 years old. I mean, maybe not that old, but I hate that face because, you know, he doesn't exactly look 22 years old, probably 40 at the youngest. But anyways, hopefully he can do well. It's not stacked up well for him, though. I mean, our O-line is an average overall of like a 69 or something. Nice. No, it probably is, actually. And our receiving core is an average overall of like a 73 or something. I don't know. Like a 72 if you count Hitchens. But I do want to get Hitchens a lot of playing time because obviously he has hidden dev. And hopefully Trey Tomlinson can do better as a running back this year. And then obviously the defense is still amazing. I'm surprised it didn't go up more in terms of overall, though. I guess it's not the youngest defense ever. Well, it kind of is. Our secondary is super young. And then Lawrence and Carter are still... I mean, Carter's really young, and then Lawrence is pretty young still. So I don't know. I'm surprised. I thought we would be into the 90s, but we probably will be after this season. And also, Andrew Van Ginkel and DeMarcus Lawrence both got superstar dev. I almost called him Dexter Lawrence again. Fun. I am expecting... I guess I can't really expect regression because, you know, we won one game last year, but I feel like this team is still going to disappoint. Year 2 is usually rough, but year 3 is usually where, you know, we can start to get good. I'm not saying we should be good this year, but I feel like we might do even worse than we should do. We'll see. I hope not. But let's get to the midseason point of year 2 and we'll see what we're cooking. Okay, well, at the midseason, we are 3-3. That's actually better than I thought we would be. I thought we would win, like, you know, 3 games total this year and just, you know, say GG go next or something. I don't know. But no, we actually, I mean, I'm not saying we will be, but we are technically, like, in the hunt for the playoffs right now with only a 79 overall team. I mean, we'll definitely take that. We have a really good defense, as we should, and a pretty bad offense, as we should. I mean, we should have, like, the best defense and the worst offense, but at least it's close. I can't expect, you know, too much from this game. At least we don't have one of the best offenses and one of the worst defenses. But we are going to have some players to re-sign here. It's probably a lot of defensive guys, obviously. And, you know, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Really, the only major one here is going to be Denzel Ward. And he's not that expensive. 3 years, 56 mil is not bad at all for one of the better corners in the league. He re-signs. We'll take that. And then Julius Brents, if he was interested, maybe. But, like, we can upgrade there. Marquise Bell, he's good, but he's, you know, he doesn't really get that much playing time. And I'm worried about this defense becoming expensive, so I don't know how much I want to pay him yet, at least. And then Grenard, like, doesn't see the field, so we're not going to bring him back. Even though I do love him in real life. Well, not literally. You know what I mean. I saved my love for your mother, so how could I love anyone else? But that's literally all there is for us to do here. I think I forgot to reorder the depth chart. I see something. The depth chart doesn't look too bad. Let me do this real quick. I mean, maybe I shouldn't reorder the depth chart because, like, it's working, but I guess I will. Okay, but like I said, I saw something. Remember when I said our QB would have not normal dev, star dev? That was a lie. He has X Factor. He's only developed like 1 overall, or I guess 2, but that's insane. Hopefully we don't ruin him with this terrible little offense around him, but that's like best case scenario. That's like maybe the best QB pick I've ever made. That's crazy. Unfortunately, we have the worst offensive line of all time in front of him, but let's pretend we don't, okay? But now, let's get to the end of the season, and I know we're not going to finish very, very good, very well, but at the very least, hopefully we can get some more development going. We'll see. Okay, and yeah, we don't finish the best in year number 2. We only finished 6-11, which, you know, I wish I predicted it. I would have guessed 5-12, but I guess I wasn't right, but I was close. God, I was like, what happened to our defense? It's only an 82. I forgot it does that weird thing where it just shows the team overall in place of the defensive overall. I hate when it does that. But let's see if we had any other dev traits revealed. The receiver should be just star like I expected. He's probably going to be the 4th guy next year, ideally. I wonder if he would be a good tight end. I mean, he's kind of undersized for that. He is 6'4", but only 224 pounds. He would be a 75 at tight end. That's actually pretty good. We'll think about that. And then I think that was our only other hidden dev trait, unfortunately. But hey, we are 1 for 2 on X factors so far, so I definitely won't complain. But let's check out our season stats real quick. Oh yeah, Andrew Vance, I mean, it was definitely tough for him. He wasn't great. He wasn't awful necessarily, but 3,700 yards, only 20 touchdowns, 13 picks. Not a great completion percentage. You know, considering the team around him, like I said, that's not terrible, especially because we don't have like a threat of a run game at all. So I don't know, which I feel like that's an underrated part of QB play. If a team has like a super good running back, defenses obviously have to respect that more, but if they don't, you know, they can just kind of sit back a little bit and expect a pass. And that's, you know, obviously a lot harder for QBs. Obviously, the game isn't really necessarily smart enough to do that, I wouldn't think, but it, you know, it's a thing in real life. But yeah, Trey Tomlinson, 2.7 yards per carry. Elite season there. Kareem Morrell, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. We'll definitely take that. I almost wish it was Hitchens that did better, though. Wasn't our number 2 receiver last year our number 1 receiver? Like, that's why I had Hitchens as the number 2. I thought he would get the most touches. It's not like I put Hitchens in the slot or anything. I don't know. Terrace Marshall was all right, too. Ogletree didn't do much, but that's fine. The blocking was, you know, really bad. Stan Teague was fucking terrible. Of course, as our highest overall lineman, he performed the worst, as per usual in this game. But Vernon Selvey and Luke Whippler did pretty well. Matt Milano led the team with 123 tackles. Tackles for loss, 23 from Lawrence, 21 from the other Lawrence, 16 from Carter. In sacks, 17.5 from DeMarcus Lawrence, 10 from Dexter Lawrence, 7.5 from Jalen Carter. Van Ginkel didn't do much. It was probably in a lot of snaps, too. No, only 987. I thought our defense would be on the field a lot more because our offense was so terrible. And then Denzel Ward led the team with 3 interceptions, 2 for Milano, Hill, and Holland, and 1 for Roger McCreary. Definitely a good season in some parts and a little disappointing in others, but no, for the most part, this was a pretty good season. There isn't really anything I'm disappointed by. I didn't expect our QB to do super well. I didn't expect Trey Tomlinson to do well. Like, anything that didn't go right, I expected to not go right. So I can't say I'm too disappointed, but MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes on the Colts, Mac Jones at number 2 on the Steelers. I feel like they end up with him a lot for some reason. Interesting. Bryce Young at 3 on the Chiefs. Dak on the Titans. Aaron Rodgers on the Bengals. They just love their injured QBs. Which, speaking of the Bengals and QBs, expect the next rebuild I do to be something really fun. I got a fun one planned. But Offensive Player of the Year goes to Nick Chubb on the Raiders. Defensive Player of the Year goes to DeMarcus Lawrence. He is really good in this game for some reason. I mean, he's good in real life, but he's not this good. He's not Defensive Player of the Year good. And then Dexter Lawrence at number 7. I wish I didn't take both of them. Or no, I'm glad I did because they both do well. It's just 2 D. Lawrences are a little confusing. We have D. Lawrence and D. Lawrence 2. D. Lawrence the second. And Kareem Morrell does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's like best case scenario. I mean, I guess maybe Vance would have been good because, like, you know, he would have gotten the XP and all that, but he already has X Factor. He already has the max dev trait. Morrell will at least get a dev trait. And then Hitchens at number 4. I kind of wish he would have won it because he already has star dev. He would have gone up to superstar, but oh well. And then Lance Broyles, he was like our 4th receiver. And then Russell Chapman for the Patriots wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Obviously, nobody up there for us. But once again, no playoffs, obviously, but we don't deserve to be a playoff team team yet, but that should all change this offseason, and let's see what we can do. But in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs beat the Bears. Okay, it took me a second. I always get confused by, fantasy drafts. I was like, oh, that's an interesting team to be in the Super Bowl, but no, the Bears probably have a good roster here, but they lose anyways, 17-14 in Super Bowl 59, which I'm not gonna lie, the fact that it's 59 makes me feel very old. I feel like I just watched Super Bowl 50 yesterday. But we do have an upgrade for Kareem Morrell. Unfortunately, it's just one, but I guess it's better than nothing. And he, of course, went up to Star Dev, so he should be pretty good. I don't know how much more he's gonna develop, but he'll at least be like a good third option or something. It's just so hard to develop players past like their rookie year, and it's even hard to develop rookies sometime if they're an older rookie. I wish the slope of player development was like not so high. I wish you could actually develop older players if they do well. Not even older players, like 25-year-olds too. But anyways, we have some other players to re-sign. Is there anyone that's like super important here? Not really. I mean, it's just a lot of depth for the most part. Vernon Selvey was actually pretty good. 3 years, 7.2. I don't know if he would be interested in that, but he is. Okay, cool. I mean, ideally, he'll be a backup, but he might be better than whatever high overall center we sign, because that's how this game works. But hopefully there are some good options in free agency, especially on the O-line, like I said. And there are some pretty good free agents, it looks like. Well, there's one that's clearly better than the rest in Osa Odigizua, but he's not interested, and he already has 20 other offers, so I don't think we would be able to get him. I don't even want him. What am I doing? We have 2 defensive tackles that are better already. Of course, it's all defensive players available, though, and no offensive players. That's tough. Jahmyr Gibbs is here. Oh, and that's funny. Y'all know how I felt about the Jahmyr Gibbs pick. I don't think I want to sign him for that reason, because I don't want to get ripped to pieces by Lions fans. But we do need a running back, and Kareem Hunt is actually pretty good in this game. We'll try to go for him. Receivers, Nico Collins I would love to get, but he just doesn't have a dev trait in this game. I wish I could give him a dev trait, but I can't. I mean, outside of franchise at least. And I'm not going to give him one here after we sign him or something. That would just be cheating. Demario Douglas could be kind of fun. He's not the greatest, but he's a lot better than what we have. He's been good in real life. God, like nobody's interested in joining our team. But these are the players we are going to go for in free agency. Obviously nothing special, but there isn't anything special on the offensive side of the ball anyways. Literally the best player is Kareem Hunt at an 81. There's also Khalil Herbert and Patrick Ricard, but like that's not super interesting. I'd rather just go for, Kareem Hunt. I think he's the best performing out of that group in this game. But yeah, if we could get him, that would actually be pretty huge. Obviously a little bit washed in real life, a little bit washed, but that's fine here. Players being good in real life and being good in this game are 2 different things. Dalton Kincaid will also try to bring him in, an actual bill. I guess that's kind of, I don't know if we'll get him because he's not interested. And there are 3 other teams with, green interest from him or green interest offers. I don't know, whatever. We're also going to go for Nate Davis, who's like the one decent lineman that, actually wanted to join the team, maybe. I mean, he doesn't, but we have a good offer in at least. We need a 3rd corner, so Ambry Thomas looks pretty good. Demario Douglas would be an okay number 2 receiver or number 1. Ideally, he would be like a number 3 or 4, but he's like one of the best receivers available. We're also going to go for Terrell Bernard to, I guess, replace Marquise Bell. He's a lot cheaper. Trevor Penning, who I wouldn't necessarily want to sign in real life, especially for probably like $9 million a year here, but we'll try to get him, and Rasheed Walker. This is definitely a free agent class of all time. I don't know how many players we're going to get here, but even if we do get all of them, I don't know if that's going to make me feel much better. I mean, it will, especially because of Kareem Hunt, but still. But let's see if any of these players want to sign. They all sign except Ambry Thomas and Rasheed Walker, and we get Hunt, Davis, Douglas, and Bernard. Did we not get anyone? I think there's one player we didn't get. I don't remember who. Oh yeah, Dalton Kincaid. He went to the Broncos. Whatever. Let's move that receiver to tight end. I mean, this isn't a realistic rebuild anyways. He's undersized, but we'll just do that. But We're not going to get Ambry Thomas, unfortunately. Honestly, I'm not too interested in, like, any of these corners. We might just look to the draft for a third corner. I guess I'll sign, like, Cameron Mitchell because he's young. Unless there's, like, a good safety we could put at nickel, but we'll just draft somebody. But Rasheed Walker and Cameron Mitchell, do you want to sign? No. All right, that's fine. I don't care. Maybe they'll sign eventually. It's not the end of the world if they don't. And let's see what we can do in the draft. This is going to be an important one. But here in the draft, we pick at number 7, and there are 2 positions I'm looking at, obviously. Wide receiver and offensive line. The problem is I don't see anyone really worth taking here. Donovan Campbell looks, I don't know. I don't know if he's good. He's strong, but he's not supposed to go until like the late first. Matthew Price, he's really fast. He's actually interesting. He could be maybe worth taking here, but he's a bad pass blocker, so I don't know about that. Oh, this guy looks good from what I can see. Bo Schroeder and Chip Abbott. What are these names? I think we might trade back here, because I mean, none of these receivers look worth taking to me. None of them look that good. Grant Barner could be okay. I don't know though. I wouldn't bet on that. This dude looks straight up bad. Yeah, I don't know. None of these receivers are really that good looking. I will say though, if we can get Sheldon Waddle, he actually looks good from what I can tell, but I don't know. So this is going to be a certified trade back moment. I'm sure all these offers are definitely fair and great. From 7 to 16 for a 3 next year and a 4 in 2 years. I mean, sign me up. No, what the fuck is that? What are these? All right, I might trade back to 16, but I'm doing a custom offer. All right, this is about fair. You know, the trade calculator thing says we're not necessarily gaining a whole ton of value, but it's a hell of a lot better than what they were originally offering, and they don't take it. Cool. That's like not even that good of an offer. I mean, usually teams have to overpay to trade up. That's not great. What about like a 4 this year? Still not accepted. I don't even know if we can have a 3rd pick in there. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm not trading back. We'll just take the pick right here. That's insane. I have like very high or like very easy trading on too. Don't I? Maybe I don't. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, we'll go very easy and we'll trade back. My fault. That still should probably get accepted though, unless the trade calculator is just way off. I don't know. All right, a 1, a 2, and a 3 for R1. We'll take it. The 3's next year, obviously, but that's fine. But now, there are some pretty decent QBs still left. That's interesting. Obviously, we're not going to take one. But who do we want to go with here? There's Matthew Price, he's fast for whatever that's worth. He's not a very good pass blocker though, so I don't know what we would do with him. There's Bo Schroeder, who I think looks pretty good. He's a bad finesse player though, and that's our scheme, so I don't know what to do about that. And then Chip Abbott is also not a great finesse player. He does look pretty good though. I think we might just go with, you know, the highest projected guy. I don't even know if he's good necessarily, but at least he's a good run blocker, has good awareness, impact block, and he's fast and has, you know, good enough strength. I don't know, man. There was also Donovan Campbell who looks good, but his ratings aren't great. I don't know. Let's go with Matthew Price. At least he's a scheme fit compared to the others. I don't know if he's necessarily the best. I don't think he's the best out of the group, but at least he's a scheme fit. Hidden dev, 85 strength, 77 speed. Yeah, that's what I want. A lineman who's almost as fast as he is strong. That's it's interesting. I mean, not quite, but it's close. I hate how there's no background for the draft. Oh no. Don't glitch my franchise, please. Not again. Thank God. I do strictly offline leagues because I know the online ones can glitch, but I still had an offline one break apparently, and I had to end the rebuild there. I couldn't get back into it. So that was fun. And ooh, Sheldon Waddle's still available. I don't know if that's a good sign necessarily. That might mean, you know, teams passed on him for a reason. He did look pretty good though. I mean, pretty good speed, elite acceleration, which is cool, and good ratings. Even though he's a playmaker receiver, he still has A spec catch, B medium route. I just don't know how to draft playmaker receivers straight up, but I think this guy's good. He's gonna have normal dev, but he looks good. And yeah, normal dev, good speed, good acceleration, or well, good enough speed. Not very strong though. I just can't take playmaker receivers. I am very good at finding the normal dev ones. I'm just fucking insane at finding normal dev players. If there was a challenge of being able to find normal dev players, I could not even like try, and I would just blow everybody else out of the water. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just have the worst luck of all time, but I'm goated at it. I hate that word. But I do want to go with one more offensive lineman. I think we'll wait for next round to do that. Let's look for a corner. Ooh, we might have found a corner. AJ Upshaw looks pretty good. Again, he will have normal dev. Gerald Verdon also looks pretty good. I know less about him though, so I don't know how comfortable I am taking him. The unknown is scary. What can I say? This guy looks pretty good. B-man, A-press. I mean, we're not going to take him yet, or we're not going to take him here, but he does look pretty good. Let's go with AJ Upshaw. He ran a 4.41 at the combine, a 4.34 at his pro day, 21 bench reps, good speed, great strength. I'm surprised he doesn't have great speed. I would consider that great speed. I don't know how that's not, and that's why I despise how that works, because in what world is that not great speed? Because he's only going to have like 91 speed or something, even though he ran a 4.3 or a 4.41 and a 4.34. I fucking hate how that works, dude. I just do. I don't understand it, but he looks pretty good overall. Hopefully he has good press, but I have no idea. But let's take him here. He's gonna have normal dev. That's fine. He'll probably be a good overall. Like I said, dude, if there was a challenge of drafting normal dev players, I'm taking that #1 spot. And ooh, there's just a free first to second round talent player chilling. Is this guy good? I don't know. At least we know Sammy Phillips is a first round guy, so I think we'll take him. George Williams also looks pretty good, but let's just go with the safe bet in Sammy Phillips. Great strength. His ratings don't look, I mean, they look pretty good. He just doesn't have any power. But let's go with Sammy Phillips out of Arkansas for the last pick. I am insane picking normal dev players. Why can't I be good at something that's actually good? This draft is actually insane though. I've never hit normal devs like this. This is kind of crazy. But I might take one more pick. Maybe I should stop because we're getting only normal dev, but I will see y'all for the draft recap. I want to die. But here's a look at the draft we had, and we actually did pretty well. You know, we got the guy we were going to take at number 7 anyways in Matthew Price. We just got him at 16, and he's not bad. Again, he's a really bad pass blocker. I mean, I expected that, but still. Again, I don't know if he was the best available necessarily. He probably wasn't. Maybe he was. Yeah, Campbell was only a 73. Schroeder was only a 71. I'm glad I didn't take him. Yeah, I guess he was the best available. I guess that's cool. I'm decent at taking linemen usually. So yeah, he looks pretty good, and he was the one hidden dev we got because Sheldon Waddle, no dev trait, of course, but 77 overall. I mean, he's pretty good. We have 3 77s in our receiving core now, so I don't know how I feel about that. I wish, I wish at least one of them was better, but Waddle's definitely a good value for the second round. Just, of course, no dev trait. Nothing I can do about that. I mean, maybe there is to avoid taking him, but he's a good player either way. AJ Upshaw is pretty good. I thought he would be better, but a 74 isn't terrible. And then, of course, Sammy Phillips, no dev trait, but he's a 73. I also took a Dion Lipton. I thought he would be better. He's just very slow, but oh well. Wait, it said he had like oh my god. It said he had B deep route. A B is 69? Again, that's why I hate how the rating system works for draft classes. I hate it so much. But anyways, definitely a pretty good draft. I mean, we basically got a decent corner for free from trading down. We got a good receiver. We made our O-line better. We'll take it, and let's get into year 3. But here's a look at the team heading into year 3 of the rebuild. I can never remember what season it is for some reason, but we are looking good. It just said the defense is a 91. Now it says an 89 again. I don't understand, but the defense looks really good, obviously. And now the offense is looking, pretty good too. Definitely a lot better than last year, and a a lot better than the first year. And it should, theoretically at least, perform, you know, a lot better. I like how our O-line is looking. I don't feel super confident in Teague at tackle because, you know, he allowed a lot of sacks from guard. I'm scared to see what happens from tackle. I guess we'll see, though. He has a decent pass block rating at a 75, so he shouldn't be that bad of a pass blocker, but what should happen and what does happen in this game are two different things. But yeah, the offense is looking much improved. Still need like a great receiver, but you know, the group we have has potential at least. So now let's get to the midseason point of year 3 and hopefully we can do better, but I have no idea. You never know. Okay, well, at the midseason point of year 3, we are technically worse than we were last year. I mean, we played one less game by the midseason of last year, but still, we are technically worse here. We have an okay offense, it looks like, but our defense is good. It ranks number 11, though. It should obviously be much better than that. I don't know if it is the best defense in the league anymore, but I would guess it is. The 49ers have an 87, which is close. Same with the Browns, but we have a 91. So I don't know. We should definitely have a better performing defense, but I mean, what can I do about it? It is what it is. But we have some re-signings to make here, and is it a lot of defensive guys? No. We still don't really have to re-sign too many players. Tariq Woolen, who isn't interested, has he been that good though? He had 2 picks and 7 pass deflections the first year, no picks and only 4 pass deflections last year, and 1 pick and 1 pass deflection this year. I'm okay for now. I mean, look at his numbers his rookie year in real life, like 6 interceptions and 16 pass deflections. Why is he playing like this? I mean, I know he's not as good in real life this year, but he's injured in real life. He was coming off an injury. He gained like 2 more injuries. Like, I don't know, players just don't play in this game like they do in real life. But Matt Milano, we will re-sign 3 years, 48 mil. He comes back. I mean, it's kind of a risk to let Woolen go because, you know, free agent classes aren't usually super great in fantasy drafts, but I don't know, we'll just hope that there's somebody good. That's all we really can do. But that's all there is for us to do here, so let's get to the end of the year and hopefully we can rebound a little bit, but more than likely, year 4 is going to be our first chance at the playoffs, which is depressing, but we have a good enough roster, so I don't know. Alright, well, if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. I am surprised we are here, but we are here. But if you haven't already, be sure to drop a like and be sure to subscribe. It sounds stupid, but it helps out the channel a ton. I've been noticing my videos have been getting recommended to people a lot less lately, which is unfortunate, but they still have like a high click-through rate and high watch time, so I don't know. YouTube just hates me or something. But yeah, be sure to drop a like because that really does help out the channel and helps undo that. I'd very, very much appreciate it. Again, even though it's stupid. And let me know down below any fun rebuild ideas y'all might have, because if and when I pick your comment, as long as it's not something completely stupid, I'll give you a shout out and all that. I would very much appreciate that too, because it helps me know what y'all want to see too. But enough of that. Clearly a decent amount of upgrades here too that I need to spend. But in year number 3, we finished 9-8, barely making the playoffs, but at least we made them. I am surprised we made them. Our defense actually ended up being pretty good, as it should have been. It should have been better, but oh well. And our offense did regress a lot. I don't know if it should have been the second worst offense, but at least our offense hasn't been better than our defense in this rebuild so far. That's good. We'll take that. But super quickly, let's go over our season stats. Andrew Vance was just all right again. 3,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, 6 picks. That's good, but only 59% completion percentage isn't great. Does he have good traits? Paranoid sense of pressure. That's not always great. Conservative decision maker, predictable player, I mean, those are okay traits. And Kareem Hunt wasn't that good. 1,000 yards, but only 3.8 yards per carry. I mean, that's a massive upgrade over what Trey Tomlinson was, but I kind of expected more, not gonna lie. He was all right at least. Kareem Morrell once again led the team with 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Only 600 yards for Sheldon Waddle though, and only 1 touchdown. I was hoping we could maybe, you know, develop him, but oh well. And then Ben Hitchens with 500 yards yards, but 14 touchdowns. Again, I kind of wish those went to somebody like Morrell, so he could have had a crazy season and gotten like superstar, but oh well. Oh, I love a first round pick allowing 19 sacks. That's great. I mean, he's a bad pass blocker, so I guess that's fair, but 19? That's insane. Nate Davis was also pretty bad. Sammy Phillips and Luke Whippler were good. Teague was all right. That's interesting. But Logan Wilson led the team with 104 tackles. Milano with 103 tackles for loss, 24 for nope, I'm never gonna get that right. DeMarcus Lawrence, 21 for Jalen Carter, 18 for Dexter Lawrence, and sack 15 and a half from DeMarcus Lawrence and Dexter Lawrence. Even more confusing now. 13 from Jalen Carter and 12 from Andrew Van Ginkel. Our pass rush was insane, as it should be, to be fair. In interceptions, 3 from Denzel Ward and Tariq Woolen. Still only 3 pass deflections from him though. 2 for Logan Wilson and then 1 for a lot of players. Our defense looks like it balled out though. I'm surprised it was not that high ranked. But MVP goes to Joe Burrow. That's interesting, on the Eagles now. Andrew Vance at number 10. I'm kind of surprised he was up there. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson on the Texans. Tyler Lockett on the Dolphins. I remember there were trade rumors of him to the Dolphins like a couple years ago. Like last offseason or maybe the offseason before that. I don't know. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Hassan Reddick on the Titans. DeMarcus Lawrence at 2. Dexter Lawrence at 3. Jalen Carter at 6. Andrew Van Ginkel at 10. No winner, but 4 players up there. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Donald Lockridge for the Browns. That's a hard name to say. Donald Lock. I guess it's not that hard. A little bit. This is a test of the emergency alert system. I hope things like that don't come through my mic, but Sheldon Waddle at number 5. You know, I wanted to try to get him to win that. I just don't know how to get receivers to do well in this scheme. I guess if they're the number 1 receiver and the slot receiver, I don't know. But Jeremy Mayo for the Bengals wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's a fun name. AJ Upshaw at number 6. I kind of forgot about him. I'm not going to lie. Must not have done a whole lot. But we are going to be taking on our division rivals, the 12-5 Miami Dolphins in the wild card. What's our team overall up to now, though? Is it still only an 85? Yeah, still an 85. But I mean, that's pretty good. I wish it was a little better now, but you know, I've done what I can for the most part. I've picked pretty well, just kind of unlucky with the dev traits, and then, you know, I've signed the best free agents I could. So skill issue, I guess. But we have a first of many scenario here. This is obviously our first playoff game. We'll still go one more year after this, no matter what happens, unless we win the Super Bowl. We might go out like that. We'll see, but I doubt we'll do that. But we'll go play it cool. Y'all know me. No risk, no reward. That's fine. And let's see if we can somehow get a win against the Dolphins. Probably not, but we'll see. Okay, we absolutely destroy them. That shouldn't necessarily be the case. I mean, they were only 1 overall worse than us, and they had a home game, but hey, it's better than them destroying us, to be fair. But we have a recap for the first of many and some upgrades, it looks like. We'll take that. Give us those sweet, juicy staff points, please and thank you. A whole 7 of them. We're cooking now. Oh my god, I have heard like 7 trains go by today. I live like right next to train tracks. They are so loud when I'm recording, and Tuesdays are like the worst days. But we are going to be taking on the Houston Texans in the divisional at 12-5. Of course, they have Bijan Robinson. Who's their QB? Jared Goff. Okay. I like Jared Goff. I don't want to piss off Lion fans again, so I'm going to leave it at that. I like Jared Goff. He's pretty good. But once again, we have a 1 overall better team. They're an 84 to our 85. They, of course, won more games because Madden simulation. But no, I guess that's fair. You know, the NFL is all about offense, and we don't have a very good one. But I feel like our defense should carry a little more, but oh well. But let's simulate this game against the Texans, and we'll see what we can do. Hopefully we can get a win. And unfortunately, we do not. Our defense held up pretty well. See, those are the kind of games I like to see. Our offense only put up 17, which is valid. We don't have a good offense. And our defense held them to 18. Our defense did well. That's a valid loss. I'm cool with. But let's get into the offseason and let's really work to upgrade this team. This is where there could be more free agents available, especially on offense. So the team could get pretty good here. We'll see. But in the Super Bowl, we have the battle for Pennsylvania, I guess, which, you know, it's kind of weird that there are 2 Pennsylvania teams. I mean, it's not like that's the biggest state of all time. I mean, they're in 2 big cities, but it's still, you know, it's kind of interesting. But the Eagles win at 28-24 over the Steelers. I also think it's interesting the Jets cut Tim Boyle over Trevor Siemian. I feel like Tim Boyle was better than Trevor Siemian. Not that matters. I mean, they're kind of cooked anyways, but they also signed Brett Rippon Rypien to replace Tim Boyle? Like, I don't know. I don't think the Jets know what they're doing at QB. I mean, Jets fans seemed happy that they cut Tim Boyle. I mean, he wasn't good, but I don't know if Brett Rypien's an upgrade there, and that's just a big mess over there. They were not ready for Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. But for the rest of the players we have to re-sign, like I said, Tariq Woolen, we unfortunately are gonna have to let go here. He had 3 picks this last year, but he also only had 3 pass deflections. Luke Whippler, he's been good actually. We'll re-sign him. 2 years, $8 million, that's cheap. Worst case scenario, we can just, upgrade over him, and he'll be a good backup that isn't too expensive. But everyone else here, one of the last, defensive, offensive players in Riley Moss is unfortunately gonna be leaving. Would it be better for his career if I move him back to corner, his not real career, because this is Madden? I guess. We'll do that. Have fun in free agency. Same with Roy. We'll move him back to defensive tackle. But yeah, we're gonna let everybody else here go, and we'll be getting into free agency with a decent amount of money. I could even free up more through restructures if I wanted to, but hopefully there are some good players. Probably not. Okay, no, there are not any good players here. The best player is an 86 at 32 years old, and then it goes right down to 84. All right, that's tough. See, Puka Nacua still only has normal dev in this. Well, he doesn't in the actual game, but I can't change that in my custom rosters. It'll show he has superstar dev in my rosters outside of franchise, but once I go into franchise, he no longer has it, which is weird. I don't know. I love this game. There are like 0 players interested in the team. I can blame them. We're doing pretty well. I mean, maybe just nobody wants to go to cold-ass Buffalo, New York. I don't know. Damn, there isn't really a good second corner here. I mean, Desmond King is old. He's kind of a slot guy, though. I guess it would be fine to play on the outside because it's Madden, but how does Desmond King do in this game? Was he good last year? He was, like, slightly better than Woolen was, I guess, technically. I might work on a trade here, though, because we definitely still have some things I want to upgrade on this team that we just haven't had an opportunity to upgrade at all. But we are going to try to sign Alvin Kamara, which would be interesting. He's old, and another player that's a little bit washed in real life, but it looked like he still did well here, although to be fair, Kareem Hunt did well here, and then we signed him and he wasn't very good. I don't know. We'll see if the same thing happens. It very well could, but hopefully not. Gabe Davis, we'll try to get him. Another Bill we're going to try to add. Hopefully he actually signs with us, though. Desmond King, we'll try to get him, and Cole Holcomb, just to be a good backup linebacker. So let's see if we can sign any of these players. There's nobody else I want to sign before we do this, though, is there? I don't think so. I mean, Corey Linsley. Ooh, yeah, that's realistic. 11 sacks allowed from one of the best centers in the NFL. That makes sense. All right, let's see if we can sign any of these players. Oh, they just all immediately signed. So we get Alvin Kamara, Gabe Davis, Desmond King, and Cole Holcomb. We'll take it, and let's see if there's a trade we can do. Ooh, Cheeks has superstar dev. That's not gonna matter, but that's interesting. Maybe he can be part of our trade bait. I mean, I know superstar players have good interest most of the time. I don't know. We'll see. But here we are gonna be trading Cole Holcomb, who we literally just signed, a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick this year for Chris Olave and a 7th round pick. Receiver isn't necessarily a massive need for us at this point, but we still didn't have that like #1 receiver. And Chris Olave isn't like the craziest receiver in the NFL, but he's very good and is, gonna be our #1 receiver by like 5 whole overall. So that's a pretty good trade for us. And I might even work on one more because I'm still not like fully satisfied with this offense. All right, well, we are gonna be trading for another Colts player here, an actual Colts player in real life though, but still on the Colts here, in Braden Smith. He's been one of the best pass blocking tackles through the rebuild, it looks like. Will he stay that here? I doubt it, but we're gonna hope that he does. That's really all I can do. But yeah, it looks like he's been good, and we don't have to give up too much to get him. A 3, a 5, and a 6, and then what would be like a 5th string tackle for us or something. 5th string, but like a 3rd left tackle or a 3rd right tackle. You know what I mean? So those are some pretty good upgrades to the offense. The question is, which tackle do I want to get rid of? I mean, Matthew Price was horrendous, but he does have the star dev, and he could technically get better this year. Stan Teague was better, but he was awful his first year, and is a lower overall, and we have less invested in him, and he has a worse dev trait. So I'm leaning towards starting Matthew Price, but that's a risk. I don't know. Either one is maybe a risk, though. But let's get into the draft. We'll make the draft quick, and and we'll get into year number 4. I'm interested to see how this team will do, though. But here in the draft, we pick at number 26, and honestly, we could even trade this pick away. I mean, again, this isn't a realistic rebuild. I might do whatever I want in this final year. We still definitely have some needs on this team. I mean, this isn't an amazing team. It's an 86, which is probably one of the best in the NFL, but I want to make one more trade real quick. I don't know for which player, but we'll find out. Well, hold on. We'll see who's available at that position. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to spoil what position it's going to be, but I'll check real quick. Okay, there's one interesting looking player there, but he doesn't look that good. Let's trade this away. We are just going to trade this straight up for Jalen Johnson. Maybe I could have added like a third in there. I just wasn't thinking, but like, I don't know how much we would have gotten with that third anyways, so who cares? We get a good corner, and that's the main thing we needed, was a really good number 2 corner. And I will say we could maybe still go for an interior lineman. How was Phillips? I can't remember. Was he decent, or was he the one who did bad? No, he was the one who did good. He only allowed 4 sacks. Nate Davis, I think, wasn't great. I think he allowed like 7 sacks or something from center. Yeah, that's not great. Let's see. We can definitely shift some things around on the O-line, though. I mean, we have 6 starting caliber guys. But let me see if there's anyone that looks good here. Okay, no linemen look that good. Ooh, there's some interesting defensive tackles available. D'Angelo McCoy, elite speed, good strength. His ratings, I don't know if they're great. He has bad pursuit, but everything else looks good. Matt Tubbs, which is banger last name for a for a nose tackle. That's amazing. I don't know if he's better than D'Angelo McCoy. Probably not, but I like the name. Let's go with Matt Tubbs out of Texas. He's never going to see the field anyways, but he looks fun, so let's take him. Normal dev, all right, whatever. But now let's get into year number 4, the 4th and final year of this rebuild. But here's a look at how we did in our 3 picks in the draft. Matt Tubbs is only a 74. I thought he would be better. He just has 0 pass rush. Oh well, I liked the name. It doesn't matter. Devontae Allen isn't good. The CPU picked him, and then the CPU picked Tremaine Pierce, who is actually pretty good at a 71 overall at defensive tackle. He has hidden dev. He's only 21. He's interesting. He's more interesting than the guy we took. Well, no, Matt Tubbs is definitely more interesting, but Pierce probably will be better in like 5 years or something, or even like 3 or 2 years. I don't know. But guess what? We're only doing 1 more year, so let's get into year 4. But here is a look at the team heading into the 4th and final year of the rebuild. I didn't almost forget the year again. But yeah, we are looking very nice. 86 overall. Still, our defense isn't like quite as crazy as I think our offense was when I did the offense one of these, but it's still very good at an 89, and I feel like it, well, I guess I can't say I feel like it should be higher because we, you know, all our linebackers are lower than an 89, our strong safety is, but I don't know, it's a good defense for sure, and is still probably the best defense in the league. And then our offense is even pretty good now at an 84. You know, we fixed our receiving core. It is very strong now. Hopefully Andrew Vance can have that like breakout year. He's been good both years, but he hasn't been like insane or as good as he should be, and hopefully he can be. And I don't know which running back to start. We'll start with Kamara, but if he sucks at the midseason, I'll probably bench him, and then hopefully the line can do better. I put Price at right guard because I trust his pass protection the least out of like anyone here, and I put Whippler at center because Nate Davis was kind of bad, so we'll see what that does. I don't know. But Kitchens at tight end is almost up to an 80 overall. He's actually turned into a really nice player at tight end. I thought we would just replace him and he would just eventually get buried on the depth chart at receiver, but at tight end he's been pretty good. But I don't know, this is a pretty good looking team, all things considered. So with that, let's get just straight to the end of year number 4, and hopefully we have a good season, but we will see. You never know. Okay, well, once again, here we are at the end of year number 4, and before I reveal how we did, I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed today's video so far, and expect very big things coming up soon. Starting this week, clearly, I am gonna attempt to daily upload from now on. I'm not gonna be able to be 100% consistent. Things just happen sometimes, and don't expect videos on Saturdays. Those are the only days I won't be uploading. But yeah, expect a video like pretty much every day. So again, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Madden rebuilds, especially if you've made it all the way here, because if you've enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy like all of the rest of mine because they're all just like this. But anyways, in year number 4, we finished 10-7 7, and we once again made the playoffs. Maybe not as good as we should have been, but we did finish with at least a top 5 defense. I mean, we do have the best defense in the league, but I never expect to be the absolute best or as good as it should be, but our offense was really disappointing this season. Number 20 in the NFL, 29th in points per game. That's really bad, clearly. But let's see what went wrong with our offense, and honestly, Andrew Vance just isn't that good. I mean, I say that, but 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 2 picks, but not a great completion percentage, just not that many touchdowns and not a crazy amount of yards, but I don't know, that could just be a playbook thing too. Alvin Kamara was definitely the right choice at running back though. 1,300 yards, that's like more than he's ever had in a season for just rushing yards, I'm pretty sure. 4.5 per carry, 11 touchdowns. Chris Olave, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Kareem Morrell and Gabe Davis were whatever. Ooh, and the blocking, at the mid-season, it was pretty good, but Braden Smith wasn't very good. Luke Whippler was bad. Teague wasn't great. Price was okay, and Sammy Phillips was really good. And then on defense, Logan Wilson led the team with only 97 tackles. That's good. That means our defense is getting off the field. So I wonder if we'll have a lot of picks or something. I don't know, but DeMarcus Lawrence, 19 tackles for loss, 17 for Dexter Lawrence. I keep just saying Lawrence. 14 for Van Ginkel, and sacks, 23 from DeMarcus Lawrence. I want to see where he ranks all time now. We'll check. 13 from Andrew Van Ginkel. He has been very good in this rebuild. He had one not great year, but 11.5 sacks, 12 sacks, 13.5. He's a monster in this game. He's been good in real life this year too. I've been waiting for that breakout from him. I've always liked him, but in this game, he's ridiculous. Not much interior pressure, but I mean, still 8.5 and 7.5 sacks, so pretty good. And no, not that many interceptions. 2 from Ward and then 1 for like 5 players. Interesting season. I don't know what was bad about our team, but yeah, I don't know what held us back from being like a 13-4 team or something like that, because nothing was bad. But Lamar Jackson wins MVP for the Seahawks here. I think we've had a different MVP every year. Lamar might have won 2 actually, but at least there's a little variance here rather than Dak and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes winning it every year. But Offensive Player of the Year goes to Bijan Robinson. Defensive Player of the Year goes to DeMarcus Lawrence again. Andrew Van Ginkel at 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jonathan Davis for the Colts. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sammy Anderson for the Broncos. I do want to check though, like I said, how many sacks does DeMarcus Lawrence have? 121. He definitely has a good amount. I think the all-time high in a career is Reggie White with 200, right? I almost said Reggie Wayne. I mean, both very good players, but different sides of the ball. Oh my God, Aaron Donald had 28 sacks in a season. Or no, Bruce Smith had 200. Reggie White had 198. Why did I forget that? I thought that was the other way around. Oh well. Aaron Donald finished with 171. Unfortunately, Lawrence isn't on the list yet, but he probably would be in the next couple years. Maybe even next year. Who is Jay Taylor? Oh, Jason Taylor. I'm stupid. I always forget about him for some reason. I was thinking it was Lawrence Taylor. I just saw Taylor and then I saw Dolphins and I was like, wait, what? But no. But anyways, back to the rebuild. We are going to be taking on the 10-7 Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. We'll probably lose this game, but we have a one last hurrah. This might be our one last hurrah for the rebuild. Who is it going to be? Taylor or not Taylor? DeMarcus Lawrence maybe, if it wants to load today or tomorrow? Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence. So it looks like he won't finish on the all-time list, but plus 10 morale. But let's simulate this game and we will see if this is the last game of the rebuild. Okay, it isn't. We only win by 1 point, but we do win 29-28. A win is a win. We'll take it. But we do have a recap for the one last hurrah. This should be even more morale, which is nice if it wants to load. But yeah, plus 10 more morale. We'll take it. And we have some upgrades. Anyone important? Logan Wilson. That's kind of nice, I guess. I don't know. We'll take it. Why not? You know what? I think I forgot to rearrange the depth chart again, but maybe I don't want to mess with it because I mean, we were good. I mean, although we weren't as good as we should have been, I don't think I'm going to mess with it. Nah, I won't. There isn't really much to change here. It's pretty much as it should be. But we're going to be taking on the 10-7, 85 overall Tennessee Titans. And if you've seen one of my videos before, or maybe any rebuild, the Titans are broken in this game. Maybe they won't be broken here because they don't have Derrick Henry anymore, and running back is like the most important thing in this game, whatever fucking reason. I hear so many birds outside, good lord. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna win this game, but I hope we do. So let's simulate it. I wonder who their QB is and everything. And unfortunately, that is gonna be the end of our rebuild. We lose 24-21 to the Titans because because our our what, 91 overall defense allowed too many points. That's unfortunate. But either way, this was a very fun rebuild. I like doing weird stuff like moving players to different positions and just getting weird with it. I used to just do stuff like this fun because I'm a psychopath apparently, and I was bored, I guess. I don't know. So I'm glad y'all seem to enjoy it too. It makes me feel a little more validated for being a crackhead when I was younger. I don't know. But even though we didn't exactly get the results we wanted, we still built a very good roster, and I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Again, 1,200 likes on this video, and I have something even more extreme planned if y'all want to see that. Let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have if you want to shout out, and of course subscribe for more. And on screen is a video y'all will probably enjoy. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, so feel free to click that. But not without further ado, but thank you so much for watching, and with that, I'll see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.